Hey everyone, this is Hollander Cooper.
And I'm Lucas Sullivan.
Here at E3 2012, checking out the Best of Xbox Showcase, and there's a ton of games to see, Gears of War, Forza, tons of stuff like that, so let's get to it. Hey everyone, this is Hollander Cooper with GamesRadar.com, here with somebody who I barely really need to introduce, but I will anyway. Tony Hawk, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
And we're checking out Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD, which obviously looks awesome. It's an HD remake of some of the older games. So were you excited when they approached you saying they were going to kind of bring some of these older games back with HD graphics?
Honestly, I was excited to approach them with the idea.
That was all you?
Yeah, me and Robomoto, we believed in it very passionately, and we kept kind of pushing Activision. This is the time, we could do it. We could do it even just online.
How does it feel? It's been a while. These games, some of these games are pretty old, but I know they've been kind of reworked and stuff. Does it still feel good to go back into these old areas?
Yeah, it's very natural. The control scheme is very natural, but when you see it, it's a whole different experience because the graphics are that much better, the motion is that much better. Obviously, you're familiar with the old maps, say like Warehouse, and I think that's the one that's going to blow people away because the Warehouse level was on the first game we ever released. It was the first level on that game, and those graphics were pretty poor compared to nowadays. We're like 2 levels beyond that. And so when you see it in today's graphics, you feel that motion. It's a whole new experience.
And is there anything that's not in the one that's going to come out that you're kind of hoping that they put in? Not one of the ones that ranked high, just you personally, like Downhill Jam holds a place in your heart.
Yeah, there's a couple levels definitely on the later games that I would love to do, especially like Tokyo.
Awesome.
I was a big fan of the higher grinding lines on Tokyo that people maybe didn't discover.
Well, maybe they'll have a chance to discover them now. So when's the game out, and how are people going to be able to get their hands on it?
Well, it's in Summer Arcade with Xbox Live. It'll be soon.
Soon's good. Thank you very much. All right, now we're checking out Gears of War Judgment. Huge announcement when it kind of came out last week from Game Informer. Obviously, we know a little bit about the story. You're going to be playing as a squad that actually includes Baird and Cole about 15 years before the original game. Well, we didn't really get a chance to see much about that at the show. We did get a chance to check out Overrun, which is a new game mode. It's really cool. Plays a lot like Gears of War with some minor refinements. The biggest change is probably the class-based system. I mean, you have an engineer class, a scout class, a bunch of classes, which automatically throws a huge wrench into the Gears of War gameplay style, but makes the multiplayer much more strategic than it was in the last games. You can check out some more details on that on our preview on GamesRadar.com. All right, now we're checking out Forza Horizon, trying to really make the Forza game into something more accessible without sacrificing the authenticity, which essentially means kind of arcadey controls without actually making all the cars feel the same. We got a chance to see it in action, which you can check out in our preview, and it all takes place in a large open world. It's a big departure from the other Forza games. They said their ultimate goal is to turn fans of racing games, or racers in general, into gamers, and turn gamers into racing fans. I don't know if that's actually going to work, but I'm really looking forward to seeing if it does. And, hey, what's that over there? All right, now we're checking out Resident Evil 6, which obviously one of our most anticipated games to see at the show, and one of our most anticipated games of the year. It's almost like a spiritual reboot in a way. We have 3 different gameplay types. You have the slow, kind of old-school feel of some of the older Resident Evils. You have a mode that looks nothing like anything we've seen before. It's kind of a brawlery kind of thing. And then you have kind of Resident Evil 5 running around shooting people like a crazy person. We saw some cool demos at the different conventions. Really action-based, and looks like it could really bring some life to the undead, shambling kind of zombie genre. I think that's a good pun. I'm not really sure. It's coming out later this year, so we'll really be able to see how it all works together. So I think that's kind of going to be the key component. And hey, what's that over there? Behind this very wall is South Park: The Stick of Truth. We can't show you it, but we got to see it because we're special, and it looks awesome. I can't overstate how excited we are for this game. The combat looks pretty much like Paper Mario's combat. You have turn-based with some action elements. The humor is hilarious. The character art is all kind of exactly what you expect. It looks just like an episode of South Park. I don't want to go on about it too much because I want to show you something you can see. Yeah, let's do that now. Let's go actually look at something you can look at too. All right, now we're going to check out some DMC Devil May Cry. This is one of the first times it's actually been playable. And it plays exactly like you want it to play. I mean, we're getting a chance to see black-haired Dante in all of his Ninja Theory glory, and anyone who's really worried about it not feeling like the old Devil May Cry should rest assured this is the Devil May Cry that you expect and want it to be. Just looks and feels a little different.
What's up, you guys? We're here checking out Mark of the Ninja. Now, this is a stealth 2D platformer from the guys that made Shank, and it's looking pretty cool. So, it's more about stealth than actually killing people. It's kind of the opposite of Shank, really, but it sort of has a Tenchu vibe to it. As you can see here, this guy's using Shuriken to solve a puzzle. He's got to hit both gears at once. And so you use stuff like, you know, throwing stars to distract guards, drop lamps on their heads, stuff like that. And if you do this button input right, you can get some sweet kill animations, although that was an imperfect kill. But, you know, whatever. It's all good. You also got a grappling hook so that you can swing around levels. Pretty cool, you know. Opens up a lot of avenues for stealth bypassing of enemies. And you got the classic Metal Gear Solid, you know, light scan determining their vision. So, yeah, that's Mark of the Ninja. Play games, check it out. All right, so we saw a little bit of this game at the Microsoft press conference, but this is Reka Tier. It's kind of like Angry Birds using Kinect. You got the classic pull back on that ballista. Let's see if she hits the shot. Ever so carefully. And there she goes. All right. So it looks like you can control the direction of the cannon using your arms, you know, flapping. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's Reka Tier in a nutshell. Let's see what's happening over there. All right, guys, we're here with Deadlights. It's been pretty sought after this entire night. It looks pretty cool. Let's check it out. And it looks like a post-apocalyptic platformer here. It's like a mix of a cool silhouette style, maybe a little bit of Shadow Complex, and it's pretty gritty. Notice you're just chopping that dude's head with an axe. I mean, come on. All right, guys, we're here checking out Fabled Journey. This is the Kinect game, and it's kind of cool. You get to cast spells using. So this guy holds up a fist that charges the spell. Then he gets to change the spell by like swooping his fingers. Looks like the hit detection could use a little work, but pretty cool. All right, guys, forget the controversial trailers. Let's see how the actual gameplay is from Hitman Absolution. So it looks like this level's set in Chinatown. Not trying to be racist, you know, that's just what the setting looks like. And this part of the level is pretty empty, but the further you get, you'll see huge crowds, which is something that hasn't really been seen all that much in Hitman before. Eliminate the king, huh? Oh, wow. He's just going for it. He doesn't even care. Wow.
Let's go. Come on, everybody. It's time to get.
All right, so that's your look at the best of Xbox from E3 2012. As you can see, we're checking out Dance Central now, but you can check out even more awesome stuff on GamesRadar.com throughout the week. Yeah, Lucas. Oh.
We're gonna lose ourselves tonight.